Coming up on this episode of Outlook TV, Victoria's virtual king fling.
Diving deep with David C. Jones.
Vancouver International Burlesque Festival. And much, much more. Hello and welcome to Outlook TV. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Robert Mackay, and we hope you have the sun in your face and vaccine in your veins because you're watching the Queer Magazine news show that brings you the stories that matter the most from coast to where?
Coast!
That's right.
We are going to kick it off in Victoria with the King Fling.
The Kings fling flang flung themselves all over the stage, and let's see how they landed.
Victoria loves drag, and today we're shining a spotlight on Victoria's drag kings. We'll be talking to King Fling producer, drag king Chaz Avery, and having a look at King Fling, a night of virtual drag. Let's check it out.
As I said, we've both been dancing all this time. What a coincidence.
King Fling started 5 years ago. It's always been a team effort. So even though I am the sole producer, I tend to refer to King Fling as a we thing. I started out wanting to create a stage for drag kings because they tend not to get as many opportunities or attention as drag queens. We've grown as a really beautiful family over the years, and we do the annual King Fling, which is the show that showcases drag kings or more masculine presenting performers. We also do Winter Pride, and then that showcases drag queens, drag kings, drag things or queers, all kinds of drag performers.
Two-spirit, what does it mean? When I'm dragging my king or queen, I'm two-spirit and in between. The name of the game is gender fluidity.
The virtual King Fling came together. I'd been working on a few shows with For the Love of Drag, so I posted a call out to see who would want to be in it and got huge response, and even potential audience members seemed to be really excited about the idea of seeing this show. So it came together really, really well. All of the numbers submitted were just so phenomenal, and I've always felt like King Fling Productions, the live shows, were really magical and special events, both for the performers and the people in the audience. And I would say that the virtual edition of King Fling really captured a lot of that magic. It was a really beautiful, emotional night. So if you would love to get involved in performing and become a drag performer, I absolutely encourage you to. We have a great resource on Facebook called #YYJDrag/drag performers of Wakangan territory. A lot of producers post call outs there for shows that you can be in, but it's also a great resource to exchange ideas and, you know, how to get started in drag. It's a very supportive group. YouTube channel. So now we have a custom URL, so we're easy to find. It's youtube.com/KingFling. The virtual King Fling is there. It will be there forever, so you can see it anytime. You can also see our past Sachet Princess shows that we did with For the Love of Drag, as well as there's some montage videos of previous live King Fling shows. So check us out, subscribe, see all our future content as well.
One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
So you can check out King Fling, a night of virtual drag, by going to their YouTube channel, youtube.com/KingFling, and keep on supporting fierce queer virtual art. This has been Kelly Legg with Outlook TV.
Let's head over to Montreal now and check in with Fierte.
If I know my French well, that means fierce or maybe pride. I'm a little rusty. But the point is, they're delivering up some fierceness out in Montreal.
A new board has recently been elected in Montreal Pride, and Mo Amandi has been elected as vice president. Mo has agreed to speak with us today about his role and about the vision for the Montreal Pride 2021 festivities.
In 2019, I've been elected as a community representative at Fierte Montréal, Montreal Pride, and then we got like other elections in November. So I presented myself to be as a vice president, and I've been elected. We have a beautiful team, a beautiful like board working together every day to achieve our goals. And we created this beautiful bridge between the entity, the organization, and communities. We have the artistic part, and we will continue to work on it to bring this beautiful, amazing energy on the scene. But also, we are an NGO, so we want to focus also on this beautiful relation between Fierté Montréal, Montreal Pride, who's like creating this festival for communities by community. We had many meetings with LGBTQI2S+ communities in Montreal, and it was amazing to discover their visions and to discover their goals and to learn more about them, because we are learning every day, you know. We assume that we know everything, but no, actually. So this is our new vision, and we're the biggest fierté in the francophonie. For now, yeah, it will be virtual, as we are doing now. We are virtual on this platform, waiting for what the government will say about measures in this summer. But for now, it will be virtual. This is a good way to create safe spaces by using the virtual platforms. The message and the vision are more important than the platform that you are using.
Make sure that you check out the Fierté Montreal Pride website to find out about all the activities that are going to happen this summer for Pride. For Outlook TV, this is Ollie in Montreal.
We're going to have to head off to a little break now.
I'm going to go grab one of these boats and just mill about the water.
I'm Wrong Note Rusty. I'm a burlesque performer, and you're watching Outlook TV.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
In this next segment, we're doing a deep dive on David C. Jones and see the many facets to this diamond.
Hi, viewers. We're here to interview David C. Jones, an extraordinary gay person, yet another one in my series. And he is an actor, a keynote speaker, a writer, a filmmaker, a teacher, a mentor, and, on a personal note, my personal tennis coach. With no further ado, let's meet David C. Jones.
So I'm kind of an audience engagement specialist. A friend of mine gave me that title a while ago. And yeah, almost everything I do reflects my love and appreciation of large masses of people. One-on-one, a little more iffy. One of the things that I really love doing is having opportunities to play as many different characters as possible. Sometimes that's because of a show where I've been cast in something where I'm playing 2 or 5 different characters, and sometimes I just create them on my own. And one of the things that's sort of common to all of them, all of the characters are heavily flawed, and all of them are often victims of their own folly. And I think that's something that I struggle with, that I'm sometimes my own, I think we all are, I don't think I'm unique in this, we're sometimes victims of ourselves. And so I exercise those demons through characters where I make them sometimes incredibly flawed or tragic or sad, or you just want to go, oh my God, wake up. You realize you're doing this to yourself. So that's what's sort of common to all of the characters. They're all part of me. Who is the real David C. Jones? And I had one friend say to me once, man, you get really dark when you're in one-on-one conversations. I was like, oh, sorry. I like to play, I like to have fun. I'm very playful. A lot of people ask me about the C. I put the C in because David Jones is such a common name, so I tried to like differentiate me a little bit. And I like to say the C is for comedy, but it's actually for Charles, which is my birth father, the sperm donor's name. And I believe I made a difference in the gay community in Vancouver. I've always been about inclusion and representation, and I've always been fighting for marginalized people, having been a marginalized person in a completely different way. Love is complicated. Love is good. Not everybody has it, but everybody should.
How about the pandemic?
The pandemic is, I'm hoping it's the birth of a new world order. Gay rights need to be protected with diligence.
How about sexuality?
Sexuality, we're so shameful of sex. We're so Victorian about it, and I wish we could all be a lot more open about our sexual expressions. Be creative, have fun, play. You only live once. It's hard to believe when you're young, but it's true.
Well, he may have a lot of different faces, but he's got an indelible spirit. Thanks, David C. This has been John Crossan with Outlook TV. See you next time.
Let's check in with the Vancouver Queer History Panel.
And this time around, a much-needed boost in the two-spirited representation on that panel. Let's go take a seat with them.
This is the second annual Queer History Panel put on by Vancouver Pride Society. They have another diversified panel this year.
And people knew I was different, but that's where I heard the term gay, and I was just, I was scared. It was being able to hide in my own skin and hide behind a smile that everybody thinks is okay, that you're okay because you're smiling, and nobody ever sees the hurt that you carry behind that. So living in that life, I was scared. I was scared to even admit that I was gay. I knew I was. Everybody knew I was. Everybody knew I was different, but I was terrified to admit that.
It was spectacular. I really enjoyed it. It was a little nerve-wracking, and I loved learning so much about the people on the panel. It was great.
I thought it was really good because we had such a diverse group of people that it was really important that we were able to share in the history of where we were and the evolution of where our lives have been. So it was very nice to be able to be a part of something like that.
And the naming was coming from the West. So it kept me in the closet for many years because I thought being gay or lesbian, once I heard the term, would make me white. So, and that I would lose who I was, and I would lose my culture and my connection to my family and everything.
The street was lined, like literally lined with millions. And I thought to myself, are all these people gay as well? But then I realized, oh no, look, P-flag. Oh, parents and families of gay lesbians. And I thought, okay, well that's pretty cool, they're supporters. Is our history important to share? And I say yes it is, because this way we're learning from the pioneers before us, and we are taking it forward for the youth who will come after us. So I think it's really important with a panel like this, sharing ideas, sharing thoughts, and sharing our stories, because it's important to learn in case we haven't learned everything on our own.
I saw Pride as this platform for change, because Pride is recognized globally. Pride has a lot of power that it's not necessarily using, and it has the opportunity to really make change at various different levels, and I think that we're starting to see that.
Hearing about the evolution of Pride, but also the recommendations around what we need to do more of, how we could be better, was super important for me.
It stings a little bit different now. Like the memory of it in the moment was like, wow, I've made it and I'm going forward. But as like now it's like, oh, like you were being used as, we have a black DJ and she's a lesbian. Oh, she's plus sized. Like it was very, I can tick, 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 tick.
Our community is so broad. I think that this was a lovely cross-section, and it's a reminder that I think we need to do this even more often with more people, and I'm going to steal those questions and actually ask some diverse friends like on Facebook those questions so that I have a little more information and insight. So I really appreciated it.
Part of a bigger photo. This is the bigger photo of that photo over there. And this is like a lot of people of color and indigenous people who came together and this kind of history is not talked about, you know, in terms of the broader histories of Pride. But that
The Queer History Panel will air during Pride Week. Check out the Vancouver Pride's website or Facebook for more information. In Vancouver, this is Jack Fox for Outlook TV.
that broader.
You ready for a little burlesque?
Oh, yes, please.
Vancouver International Festival quality?
With pasties?
Oh, all the pasties.
Start spinning.
And there's a few boys too, and you want to know what they call that?
Boylesque.
Yeah!
This was the first virtual Vancouver International Burlesque Festival, and organizer Ruth Ordair told us about the details, and Wrong Note Rusty told us about his performance.
So the Vancouver International Burlesque Festival is an annual event which brings together burlesque performers from across the province, across the country, and internationally. So we do it every year in the spring. And normally under non-COVID circumstances, we have it in person on stage. But this year, it's a little bit different. So the applicants sent us pitches of acts they would like to create. And then we selected those and they delivered their videos a few weeks later. My vision for this year's festival was taking away the limits and confinements that come with performing on stage. So when you add video to the mix, you can be in the forest, you can be in a coffee shop, you could be on a rooftop, you can be in all different places and create an even more dynamic storyline. So burlesque and the LGBTQ community very much overlap and interweave along with drag and music and other forms of performance art. I myself am a lesbian and have a wife who I just recently married. And one of the most beautiful things I've gotten to do with burlesque is perform for Pride events across the country and be among my peers.
Vancouver International Burlesque Festival this year, I submitted a digital piece called Angel, which is a bedroom burlesque dance. It is kind of a classic exotic dance. It's really low concept, but it has a whole bunch of technical production values that I wouldn't normally be able to do on a live stage. So that was really fun. I got to do a lot of lights and smoke and fire and stuff that, yeah, it would be not feasible to do inside a bar. I would say that a lot of the audiences that I perform for are kind of mixed. For sure, there's a lot of queer folks that come out to see burlesque shows and that come out to see our shows. But I find that for the shows that I am in with my troupe, with Boylesque TO, one of our biggest markets is moms. Moms really love seeing Boylesque. But we usually do a lot of shows during Pride, and we've got a large gay following as well. So that's pretty fun. I think that our crowd is pretty mixed, and I think a lot of people, a lot of mixed people like burlesque. It's just a lot of fun. I think that the burlesque scene could use some more men. Get into stripping. It's really fun. You already know how to do it. All you have to do is get on stage and take your clothes off.
From Vancouver, this is Gary Wolfeder for Outlook TV.
Time for another little break.
I'm parched.
Me too. Lemonade?
Yes, please. Maybe a little iced tea, too. Blend them.
So I'm Andrea Arnott, Executive Director at Vancouver Pride Society, and you're here watching Outlook TV.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
In this next segment, we sit down with the authorities on Pride in Vancouver. What did they have to say, Rebecca?
Well, it's virtual again this year. Not, to spoil anybody's time, but it's virtual again this year.
But it's chock full of pride, so pull out those rainbows.
As many large-scale events around the world are either canceled or postponed due to COVID-19, today we're going to speak with the Vancouver Pride Society to see what they have planned for 2021.
So I'm the executive director at Vancouver Pride Society. I have been there since 2016 now, so this will be my 6th Pride season through, and every single season is a little bit different. Our parade is going to kind of look like a news broadcast this year. So our sponsors and community partners can submit a video in advance, and we'll schedule those throughout. We're going to have 3 live reporters around the city who will do some patch-ins live with folks saying Happy Pride or whatever they want to say. And then we also will offer opportunities for folks who are maybe having a little picnic at the park with their friends to video themselves and then upload it to a platform that we'll have, and we will patch those pieces in too. So again, really encouraging folks to celebrate Pride in their own way, but also show that they're part of something bigger than just themselves by having this broadcast. It'll be live on Sunday on Parade Day, but then we'll be able to watch it later. Last year was really challenging going to totally virtual, and I think a lot of us were really staying home and feeling really isolated. So we wanted to sort of give folks a choose your own adventure. So choose your pride, whatever you feel comfortable doing, whether it's hanging out in your backyard and watching virtual things, or hanging out with your family, marching down the street with your friends with flags and taking up space in your own neighborhood. Whatever you choose to do for yourself or one of our events, we want folks to really think about how to celebrate Pride and take up that space around the city. We did the Pride Art Walk last year. Actually, that was the only in-person event that we did, and we had art installations spread through the city, through the downtown core and the West End. And we will be doing that again this year. I believe we're up to 8 art installations, so folks can use our app, and there'll be a map and descriptions, and they can dress up in their Pride finery with their nearest and dearest and do an art walk around the city, take photos, and enter a photo contest. And then we'll be having a lounge at Stanley Park Brew Pub in Stanley Park, one just across the road from where we are here in Geneva Plaza on the other side of Davie Street. And then we'll be having one at the Vancouver Art Gallery. And folks will be able to sign up for a 2-hour time slot, come with their bubble, sit and enjoy a few drinks, and have some entertainment on a stage. Last year, we again partnered with Van Vogue Jam, they're a Vancouver-based organization, to put on a Kiki voguing ball. And it was all virtual, and we had judges from New York and Chicago and Montreal, and then contestants from all around the world. They come in, they do their walk-offs, and then they'd be judged right away and give feedback. It was a fantastic event, so we'll be doing it again this year with Van Vogue Jam. I know that I miss seeing everyone on Pride Weekend. I usually get 100 hugs on Parade Day from folks that I know going past as I'm monitoring the parade. And I really encourage folks, reach out to your friends, check in on them, hug the people closest to you, celebrate Pride in a way that's meaningful for you, and hopefully we'll be back in 2022.
For Outlook TV, this is Angus Pratt in Geneva Plaza in Vancouver.
You know what I really got to do, Robert? Listen to some Randay.
Whoa, I tell you, every now and then my loin just kick in for some Randay.
I was fine not knowing that.
Oh.
Montreal dance music sensation Randay is taking over the world with his new single, What I Gotta Do. Randay is sitting with me today to talk about his new single and about his brand new record deal.
What I gotta do to get you. What I gotta do. What I gotta do to get you.
That is my brand new single, What I Gotta Do, and I'm so happy to have this song released out to the world for everyone to hear it. Honestly, while writing this song, I wrote this song for somebody that's emotionally unavailable, and you're just giving them a little reminder that you respect that, but you would also run miles and climb the highest mountain just to be with that person. So it's kind of like a you and me anthem. I wanted to definitely have this one a little bit more poppy than my usual stuff, which is a little bit more dancey.
Been through hell and back because it leads to you.
I got the news from my manager telling me that, oh, we debuted it at number 29 on the Hot 30 chart in Australia. So it's just amazing being next to some of my favorite artists like Kylie Minogue and Dua Lipa. Played in Australia, Brazil, and now it's slowly starting to get a few radio ads here in Canada.
Everything feels so real about you.
Being a gay artist, I just want to make my music kind of open and just for everybody. And I thought that if there's a certain way of letting everybody in, maybe, you know, I can play around with the words that I use in my lyrics. So I kind of make it in a way that everyone could connect to it and not just one specific gender, but at the same time, it's for everybody. And no matter what gender you are, no matter what sexual orientation, it's for everyone to connect to. Just the message. This album is going to be very fun. It's very upbeat, it's pop, and it's got a little bit of a funky vibe in there for sure, but the songs are all upbeat, so whatever you hear on this EP, just expect like a non-stop upbeat pop party. So what are things I gotta do? Well, I have to get to rehearsing with my dancers because we have been in talks of filming the video clip for What I Gotta Do. So I gotta get to dancing, rehearsing, I gotta get to finishing up this record, and I gotta get my vaccination. That's another thing I gotta do.
Make sure that you stream Randay's new single, What I Gotta Do, on all streaming platforms. For Outlook TV, this is Ollie in Montreal.
Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for this sunny episode of Outlook TV, but we'll be back while the sun still shines.
And before it sets and even after it comes back up again, you know where you can go, the thing that never sets, the internet. So connect, dial up, go to the satellites, wherever you get your internet, and connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We're that professional, right?
Sure, why not?
Sure. Or shoot us an email. We need lots of volunteers all over Canada from coast to coast.
To coast. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Robert Mackay. Stay safe, Canada.